y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well out here in this cruel world trying to eat us alive, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it. All right, today I have a good story I want to talk to you about, and it's going to be multi-pronged, so just, hold on, stay with me. So I want to talk about Femtech because this is a ploy geared towards black and brown, and I'm just going to stick with black because that's what I primarily focus on this channel. But there's a concerted effort to destabilize our community and introduce this femtech, try to get black women into this field. And they're selling it to us as something that's good and beneficial to us, or that's going to be good and beneficial for our communities. But what it is going to do is further destabilize the black community by focusing on women who are already overrepresented in the workforce and in the education sector when it comes to having higher ed degrees and so on and so forth, and further destabilize the black men in the community by making it more difficult for them to be employed, for redirecting resources that could be directed to them to build them up so that we can get back the natural order of things in our communities. And it's just going to just create more issues. But the big picture is surveillance. So, they want to watch everything we do, but this particular story that I'm going to bring you is going to be tied to another story. You're going to see it. I'm going to connect the dots. So let's get into this particular story. So this came from the Jamaica Observer. It came out on April 28th, 2023, and it says the government mulls Femtech. Kingston, Jamaica. The government is considering investing in and promoting the use of feminist technology, Femtech, to better respond to women and girls' most pressing needs in Jamaica. So, we already had our Femtech thing over here. They had a big scandal a couple of years ago. I want to say before I left Twitter, this black woman who created this, black girls in tech or whatever, come to find out that she was funded by a bunch of uh, white nonprofit organizations, or not nonprofits, but a lot of white charitable organizations and venture capitalists. Basically, Silicon Valley was behind this, funding this initiative. But once they got her face and they used her to promote this agenda, they pushed her out. And so I don't know if the organization is still functional. I This lady used to follow me and I used to follow her. I have to look up the story to see if I can find it and bring it to you in another story. But I want you to see the progression where they've been doing these pilot programs and trying to recruit us into this field, because the ultimate goal is to get us to be double agents. I guess that's the best way to say it. To not only use us to reveal secrets about ourselves, but also find helpful ways for the dominant society to surveil us. And so these types of stories are scary to me because, again, it just shows how we have this brain drain in our community. They recruit our best and brightest to do their bidding, and then they go work, our best and brightest go work for the dominant society, and they use their skills as weapons against us. And by the time these young people figure out what's going on, it's 20, 30 years down the road. And, you see the error of your ways. They don't necessarily learn as quickly because they're so busy trying to make money and build their career and, do everything that the dominant society says that we should do in order to be recognized and so on and so forth. So, anywho, this feminist technology is going to be problematic, and it's again, Jamaica's trying to be the first to do a lot of things. It is a pilot nation for Black people everywhere. So we need to pay attention to it. So the Minister of Science, Energy, and Technology, Darrell Vaz, made the announcement on Thursday, April 27th, at the Caribbean Community CARICOM Girls in Information and Communications Technology Day ICT event. Femtech is used globally and is considered technology innovations, including software, products, and diagnostic tools that address women's health issues. These tools include fertility solutions. Why are they worried about us and our fertility? Period tracking apps. Why they want to know when your period comes on, ladies? And women's sexual wellness. Why do they want to know about when we are doing the do? Because they don't want us to be connected. It, they are trying everything they can to wipe us out. And so when we use these apps and tools, even young girls, they're going to use it. They're going to think it's so helpful. Keep track of when your period came on. Young ladies who are trying to get pregnant, which our people don't have no fertility issues. We have uh, um, abortion issues, but not fertility issues per se. Um, but being concerned about our fertility, being concerned about our period, and being um, uh, concerned about our sexual activity is extremely problematic because it allows them to design things to eliminate us. I'll just say that. While increased accessibility to the internet, there we go again with this, having access to the internet for women and girls is vital. Our efforts cannot cease there, Vaz said. And remember, I brought you the article yesterday or the day before yesterday about uh, Jamaica trying to be an entirely digital society. So they're being used as a pilot program for the entire globe, but specifically for our people. The government of Jamaica will continue its work to boost corporate accountability for policies and solutions to end online and tech related violence and discrimination so that technology remains a perpetual force at all times. Just a whole bunch of goobity gob. They didn't say nothing. They didn't say nothing about how it's going to help improve our life. Nothing, just nothing. International Girls in ICT Day is observed on the fourth Thursday in April annually. Girls in ICT Day was celebrated this year under the theme Digital Skills for Life. So pay attention to this. So, again, this article came out April 28th. And so let me show you something. Y'all see these people, these people right here. See them? They're always up in our business trying to control us, them people. All right, so check out this article that came out a couple of days ago, May the 12th, 2023. Women's health. Femtech is transforming women's health care, but it must include everyone. So all us, they want to know when our period come on, when we have sex, so on and so forth. Now look at these people in this picture. Notice a pattern. These people don't never showcase their own folks. They go over there, they have these discussions in Davos or wherever, but they always targeting Black people on the African continent, in the Caribbean, South America, and here in America. Rarely though do they put us, we the last people they wanna touch because we raise hell. And they don't want that. So um, I just want to make a point. This lady here says the Los Angeles uh, woman has her blood pressure measured at a health event. So let me read this article to you. Femtech is expanding rapidly, but it needs to be fully inclusive of Black, Indigenous, people of color, women. Black and people of color women face particular discrimination in receiving equitable health care. New technology must take into account inadequate Black and POC healthcare data is one particularly challenging area. So here they go trying to get data on us. And so they put it out in the atmosphere, but they're going to use women to collect the data. They're going to use women as an example with these apps, with the data that they collect. So check this out. Technology is increasingly being used to improve women's health care. Femtech, coined in 2016 by Danish entrepreneur Ida Ten. No, this is a Danish woman named Ida. Is a rapidly growing industry of devices, software, and other technology applications revolving around women's physical and mental health. Femtech industry reached 2.5 billion in funding in 2021 and is expected to be worth almost 50 billion by 2025. It's 2023. So you understand that this is the future and they're telling you, so you need to listen. Femtech startups are paving the way towards a more consumer centric form of healthcare through accessibility and personalized healthcare solutions. Though the growth of femtech is increasing healthcare access to women, it is crucial to involve Black, Indigenous, people of color, women throughout the life cycle to ensure the deployment of responsible and equitable technology. We ain't asked for that. They can't even care for us properly with their hands. Healthcare is one of the most inequitable things that we experience throughout this world, but especially here in America and in developed nations. Here in America, more women die from childbirth in hospitals. We can't get, the appropriate care for our healthcare issues. And here they talking about tech. They ain't perfected the human, in person thing, and they want to move on to something else. So, it's a bunch of BS. But anyway, I'm getting off a soapbox. While there has been substantial growth in research and development spending on healthcare products, only 4% is allocated to women's health. Medical sciences have ignored the physiological differences between men and women and thus neglected women's health care. Despite the disparity, current femtech devices in the market are already beginning to address neglected and under-researched women's health issues such as menstrual health, menopause, and pelvic care. For instance, the first period tracking apps were released in 2013, and by 2021, at least 50 million women worldwide were using a period tracking app. Have mercy. On top of that, more than half of expectant mothers in the United States use pregnancy apps for prenatal care. There is a clear need for accessible and convenient solutions to women's healthcare needs. So now notice they go from we need to get Black women in here to by the end it just goes to talking about women. So they're going to use Black women as guinea pigs like they always do, and then roll this thing out to all women, because the goal is to have everybody telling when my period come on, when I'm going into menopause. um, I need to provide information about my pelvic exam, so that they'll know what's going on in my body as far as reproduction. And they understand that we are more fertile than these other folks, and so you best believe they want to know about what we doing, because they got to control this population now. So Femtech has a goal, and they're not telling you what the goal is, but I'm breaking it down to you because I want you to understand these apps are not our friend. So if you use these apps, you need to delete them from your phone and get your old paper calendar and write it down by hand, or just do, like we used to do back in the day. When it come on, it come on. Learn your own body. You don't need no app to tell you or remind you when your menstrual cycle is getting ready to come on. Now I don't have one no more, but when I used to have one, I knew when mine was coming on about a week or so before it got ready to come on. And most women do too. Now, every now and then, it would just show up and you'd be like, oh, wait a minute, buddy. I didn't get no signs. You didn't let me nobody. But for the most part, we really understood our bodies. These people are trying to sell us technology to take away, our own responsibility for our body, and basically have us rely on these applications to tell us or remind us it's time for your period to come on. It's been this many days. And then it's going to ask you all sorts of intrusive questions that you are naively going to answer, but it is helping these people learn about us in a way that they've never been able to do before, because we weren't so willing to go volunteer to allow them to do research or experiment on us. So here, they talk about this under researched women's health issues, but they don't talk about it in a way like in the beginning of the article. They talk about it from a black or person of color perspective, but then it goes right into women. And so you need to understand these people want to do research on us, but they're going to do a different type of research that they've never been able to do before. We voluntarily sign up for research. When we get these apps on our phones, these apps scour our text messages. They know when you're trying to make a booty call. They know who you call when you're trying to make your booty call. They're gonna, your app is going to tell when your menstrual cycle is on, when it missed, when you could potentially be pregnant. Um, just a lot of different things that this technology can be used for, and we naively are using these things without giving it any type of thought about how it is going to harm us in the long run. But not only that, see how it excludes men. Women are going to be used in the end times to deceive the whole world, in particular, black women. So I brought you two stories where black women are being recruited to use this technology. And although it said, women of color, you see the pictures are always of us. Now, this woman is supposed to be African American woman in LA. But again, you got LA, and then you got, women and girls in Jamaica that this article is also tied to. But the story in Jamaica came out first before the one from these folks right here. These folks, I'm not going to say the name. So understand that the agenda is being rolled out before us. We're not necessarily paying attention, but these people are right on schedule. Technology is playing a role in helping to erase us and wipe us out. And we don't even really understand the subtle ways that it's being introduced to us. So if you know people who use these apps, discourage them. Tell them what time it is. And I know, for a lot of people, they see these things as harmless. They're not going to understand until they are walking around in their open air prisons in their smart cities that they realize that they are in captivity. Um, but that's where things are going. So I just found it interesting that they created this Femtech, and I noticed that there was a trend, over the last, say, 12, 15 years to try to get more black women into tech. Well, this is what it's evolved into. And so we need to understand that when they invite us or when they are trying to get us and recruit us into something, it is not for our good. And we need to learn to stop participating in these types of activities. We do not have to be accepted by them. We do not have to embrace their help. We should question everything that comes from them. When they stick out their hand saying they want to help us, we need to be asking why, what y'all want. And we also need to question why the focus on Black women when clearly all the data shows that Black women are fine. We are doing fine in the workforce. We are doing fine where it's education is, from K through 12, even post secondary. We are okay as far as Black women. Black men are not doing well. And yet there's this continued focus on Black women. And we have to understand that there's a concerted effort to destabilize our communities by not helping the men. There's no help for men. They want to discourage us from helping our men. And stories like these, to me, reaffirm that. So please like this video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Watch out for these agendas that focus on Black women and Black girls, because the end game is to know everything about us so they can get rid of us, because they got to get rid of Israel, got to get rid of us, as many of us as they can. And they are going to be successful if we continue to walk around, sleep, and using their toys. So again, technology is not our friend. And we have to accept that. I know we love it. I know it's useful. I know we do a lot of things with it, but we need to understand it ain't our friend. All right, y'all. This is Marla K. Hope y'all got something from this. I will include the links to these two articles in the description so that you can do your own investigation and continue to research about Femtech and all these Black girl initiatives getting in technology, because it's deeper than the dominant society lets on, and we have been naive about it for a long time. All right, y'all, I'm out.